If your customer success team feels constantly behind, it's probably not because they're bad at their jobs. It's not a people problem. Most of the time, it's because the system they're working in was never designed to scale. And that matters because most CS teams don't fail due to a lack of effort, tools, or intent. They fail because of a structural misalignment. In other words, broken design beats good effort. When leadership looks at a struggling CS team, the diagnosis usually sounds familiar. We need CSMs to be more proactive. We need better health scores. We need better playbooks. We need more training. And all of that sounds reasonable. It even sounds responsible, but it's almost always wrong. Those are symptoms, they're not causes. You can give a CSM better tools and better templates and still watch them drown. Because if the system itself is broken, effort just makes the failure louder and usually more exhausting. In practice, struggling CS teams usually share the same four structural issues. First, ownership is unclear. Who owns onboarding? Who owns adoption? Who owns expansion? Who owns support escalation? In a lot of companies, the honest answer is, well, kind of everyone. And when everyone owns the customer, the CSM ends up owning everything. Missed expectations, product confusion, support follow-ups, sales cleanup, the random quick question that somehow turns into a week-long project. Work expands until the role collapses under its own weight. And the tricky part is this usually doesn't look broken at first. On paper, customers are getting covered, requests are getting handled, everyone is busy, and meetings are happening. But underneath that, ownership has quietly dissolved. Decisions don't get made, they get deferred. Problems don't get solved, they get absorbed. And the CSM becomes the place where ambiguity goes to hide. That's not a workload issue, that's a design failure. Second, capacity is rarely modeled honestly. CSMs are given too many customers, too many call types, too many exceptions, and far too many just this once requests. And almost no one asks a very basic question. What does good actually cost? Most CS teams don't have a people problem, they have a math problem they're avoiding. And this is where things get uncomfortable. Because when you model capacity honestly, not optimistically, the answer usually means trade-offs. Fewer customers per CSM, fewer call types, clearer boundaries. And those trade-offs force real decisions. Do we slow sales? Do we tier service? Or do we quietly hope effort will cover the gap? Most teams choose the third option, and that works until it doesn't. Third, incentives reward the wrong behavior. We praise over-delivery, we reward heroics, and we celebrate availability. But we don't reward saying no, we don't reward enforcing scope, and we definitely don't reward fixing the system itself. So effort becomes more valuable than effectiveness. This is where burnout gets misread. Leaders see exhausted CSMs and think the problem is resilience, or mindset, or time management. But what they're actually seeing is people responding exactly as the system trained them to respond. If you reward heroics, you'll get heroics. If you reward availability, you'll get exhaustion. And if you reward saving broken systems, you'll never fix the system. Burnout isn't a personal failure. It's feedback. Finally, customer success becomes the catch-all function. Product confusion goes to CS. Support overload goes to CS. Sales cleanup goes to CS. Over time, CS stops being strategic. Not because the team lacks skill, but because the role has no defensible boundaries. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You can't fix structural problems with more effort. You can't train your way out of unclear ownership. You can't health score your way out of unrealistic capacity. And you can't empathy your way out of broken design. This channel exists to talk about those trade-offs. Not theory, not tools. The decisions that feel uncomfortable in the moment, but determine whether customer success actually scales or slowly collapses under its own weight. If this feels familiar, the next videos go deeper into capacity, engagement boundaries, and where this usually breaks first. In the next video, we'll start with one of the hardest questions teams get wrong. How many customers can one CSM really handle? If this was useful, Hit like so more people who work in customer success can see it. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this, focus on how CS actually works at scale. And if you've seen this play out on your own team, I'd be interested to hear how, so leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one.